Hello, we are back again, and this time I'm going to speak in English. And let me explain in English. Let's do a quick tip of the day in terms of, I guess, in terms of the difference between the North American vehicle leasing uh, type and also the European vehicle leasing type. So what is the difference? Okay, here in Latin America, we primarily use more the European type with the exception of Mexico. So the American, or not America, or the North American type would be called the open-end lease. And then in Europe would be more of the closed-end type of leasing contract. So by leasing, I mean not by a contract, 1, 2, 3, 4 years, a few years. So what is the difference? What is the difference? I guess let's say three main differences here. In an open-end contract, the lessee, remember we have a lessor and a lessee. Lessor meaning the supplier, the vehicle supplier, the company that provides the car, and the lessee is the company, like a multinational company that needs the car. So lessor, lessee in English. The is the person or company that does it. The is the person that receives it. Maybe like the employer or the employee, or maybe the franchisor, franchisee. So it kind of works like that. Teacher, teachee. Actually, I'm a teacher, but you're not a teachee. It doesn't work all the time. So it's teacher and student. But in many cases, you have the and the thing. Okay. So in back to the leasing type. So the North American type, or the open-end leasing contract, the lessee, which means the company that's contracting the car, not the supplier. The lessee has more risk. So if you're looking for a car and you want maybe like an open-end lease, you might face more risk if you have an open-end lease. However, there are maybe some positives to it, is that an open-end lease for the lessee, your calculation of your depreciation differs. So it's more transparent, maybe a little bit more what's happening. So it really depends on the situation of I guess the economy, your company, and the situation of today, if you want to do an open-end lease, because then you can kind of calculate the depreciation. Your car could depreciate less or more depending on the situation. So you have a little bit more control. So an open-end lease also is more flexible in terms of the leasing terms. So you have some more flexibility in the terms. You have more options. So that might be kind of, I guess, interesting. However, there's more risk. With a closed-end lease, which is the more in the European type, it's kind of fixed. So it's fixed, what's going to happen, so there's less risk. So like I said earlier, in Latin America, it seems that what it's more commonly used is the closed-end style, with the exception for Mexico. They seem to be kind of like lined up with North America or the United States. In Canada, where the open-end lease is used. But both are good. You need to figure out what's better for you. It really depends on the company and the situation, and a lot of it also depends on what your company headquarters uses. So you have companies in Europe that are headquartered in Europe doing business in Latin America. They use the closed-end lease because their headquarters is using that, and then vice versa for the United States. Maybe there's a multinational in Brazil or whatever, Colombia, Mexico, they would probably maybe opt for the open-end lease because that's what their headquarters is using. So that's a little bit about the difference of leasing types. And let's go to the rolling of me talking. In this video, I'm gonna talk about how to express yourself in a lot. Maybe like when you are in a meeting and you need to express yourself and you need to express reasons for your argument, or you need to express contrast. So I'm going to explain how to express reason and contrast. Check it out.
Hello, students. Today, we're going to talk about reason and contrast. It's in English today, and English tips about how to express reason and contrast. I am not in the office. I'm actually in a parking lot right now. Talk to you from my trunk, the trunk of my car. Why? Because I gotta find a pretty good spot over here. Let me adjust the angle. This is the Estraiadas, Ponte Estraiadas, the Estraiadas Bridge in São Paulo. So I guess a pretty famous bridge. Global records just to the side of the bridge. Global news, and this is the Brooklyn neighborhood. The Brooklyn neighborhood that's right next to it. Okay, so today we're going to talk about reason and contrast. How to express reason and contrast. First of all, let's cover because. So because is reason, right? Okay, because it's a nice day, I will go to the beach. Okay, because it's a nice day. It's a nice day is a full sentence. Because it's a nice day, I will go to the beach. Because has two brothers. It has since and as. So you can say since in the place of because or as. Since it's a nice day, I will go to the beach. As it's a nice day, I will go to the beach. Because, since, as. Because is the most common, and I guess the others are less common. But we can also express contrast by because of, and don't get confused. Because of, we would say because of the weather, I will go to the beach. The weather is not a full sentence, it's a noun. Because of, noun or substantive. Because of has two brothers, due to and owing to. So because of the weather, I'm going to the beach. Due to the weather, I'm going to the beach. Or owing to the weather, I'm going to the beach. Owing to is not that common, but you can say these three. As far as contrast, we have even though. So even though it's a beautiful day, I will not go to the beach. So now we're expressing contrast. Even though, a full sentence after that, it's a beautiful day, I'm not going to the beach. Okay? Even though has two brothers, which would be although and though. So although it's a beautiful day, comma, I'm not going to the beach. Though it's a beautiful day, comma, I'm not going to the beach. But to express contrast, we have the one that is preceded by the noun, like we have in reason, which is in spite of. So three words: in spite of the weather, I'm not going to the beach. In spite of has two brothers, so despite the weather, I'm not going to the beach. And regardless of the weather, I'm not going to the beach. So yeah, those are the four that I want to cover today. So we have contrast, reason on this side, and contrast. And for me, in spite of the beautiful day, I'm not going to the beach. I'm talking to you from my trunk on YouTube. See you later. Bye-bye.
Hey, what's up? So if you like the video, give it a like, subscribe to my channel, and you won't miss a tip. See you later. Abraço. Aloha. Okay, so thanks once again. That's Hawaiian Dan, me, a few years ago explaining. And as you can see, I was close to that in the Brooklyn neighborhood, close to the famous bridge over here in São Paulo. And it was a little bit different because I was outside. But anyway, let's see. How can we use these in for fleet managers? So when you're expressing like maybe like a reason you can use like an open-end leasing poses more risk because depreciation could differ. It poses more risk since depreciation could differ, or maybe as depreciation could differ. So when you're expressing a reason, you can say because, since, or as. Or you can say like an open-end leasing poses more risk because of the depreciation factor. So you got a noun, because of the depreciation factor, or due to or owing to the depreciation factor. However, so another word to express when you're discussing is however. I didn't put that in the video, but however is like porém, embora, sei lá, porém, for those of you who are from Brazil. And even though it poses more risk, open-end leasing has more transparency and flexibility. So even though, or although, or though it poses more risk, open-end leasing has more transparency and flexibility. Or also we could say, in spite of the higher risk, open-end leasing has more transparency and flexibility, or in spite of, despite, or regardless of the higher risk. Okay, so that gives you an idea of how you can maybe like express yourself in the, or for a fleet manager. Of course, this is basically it. So yeah, open end versus closed end, maybe higher risk, lower risk, more transparency, flexibility. So this is my opinion. I think most people would agree. There might be some that don't agree with this, but more or less that gives you an idea of the difference of the open end and closed end leasing. And okay, so I guess talk to you next time. Follow.